Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the reaction of the market on Facebook platform. So the bull case and the bear case, what are these two different sides are saying, and then try to make our judgment and see if Facebook is a good investment or not. If you get any value out of today's video, leave a like, and without further ado, let's get this started. Right before the earnings, Facebook was trading at $322, and right after the reported earning, the stock plummeted to $240, shaving off $80 from the stock price. Now that was a major shock to the market the moment they heard the guidance from Facebook. Overall, in my opinion, Facebook had a decent earning. I wouldn't say it was a stellar earning. So from the FANG group, we saw Netflix had a poor earning. Apple blew up the quarter. Amazon also, I would say, had a decent earnings. If it wasn't for the Rivian, Amazon would have been also in trouble. But looking at the Facebook earning, they missed their EPS by 16 cents. They had a GAAP EPS of $3.67. And the profit by segment, family of apps, they brought in $15.89 billion, which was up 6.8%. The Reality Labs had a loss of $3.3 billion as opposed to $2.1 billion last year. They brought in a revenue for the quarter of $33.67 billion, which was up 20% year over year, which beats the estimate by $230 million. Revenue from a segment standpoint, they brought in the family of apps, they had $32.79 billion, which was up 20%. Reality Labs, $877 billion, up 22%. And the other revenue was $155 million, down 7.7%. After this big drop, we saw a ton of articles and a ton of interviews from many analysts on whether Facebook is bullish or bearish and should you be selling out of Facebook or not. So from a bearish standpoint, one of the major arguments that is being made against Facebook is the fear of TikTok, which wasn't being talked about in the previous earnings report versus it was clearly brought up by Mark Zuckerberg twice during the earnings call. What we saw from the earnings call that Meta was placing the dwindling earnings blame on TikTok because users now want a short form entertainment and they do not want to spend time on longer content. Google's response to TikTok was the YouTube shorts that we often see on YouTube channel. Analysts are also predicting that this kind of an approach from Facebook kind of shows you that Facebook is losing its market leadership. Facebook was the one that created this social media platform. Facebook was the leader in this platform. And with TikTok, the leadership is being completely eliminated. So that is causing a big concern among the investors and the analysts on Facebook's real future. The secondary impact that we see is that Facebook is slowly doing a trend catching with TikTok. So Facebook is diverting its resource from its original advertising business towards competing with TikTok through Reels. The third reason they talk about is Facebook really changing its name to Meta and kind of accepting the fact that Facebook is no longer that cool place or the cool company that it used to be. And they are kind of accepting the defeat. Now this something could be a very subjective, which I don't really see as a problem. However, with the first two arguments, I do see some merit in that. Monthly average user in Facebook has peaked, and for the first time we saw a decline in the monthly average user. And this has never happened before. In reality, if you think about it, Facebook has over 3 billion people using their platform. So we cannot expect Facebook to continuously grow for the rest of its lifetime. And that is where the problem comes in because the valuation of Facebook is based on its growth. And if you are going to reach to a peak of growth because you only have 7+ billion people in the world, in China, Facebook is banned, so that takes out 1.4 billion of equation. So now you're dealing with probably 6 billion people. And with 6 billion, you already have 3 billion on your platform. So your growth cannot be infinite. It's a finite number. And this is where the problem is coming in because the valuation of Facebook accounts for the growth. Another bearish aspect that has happened over here is a lot of people have invested in Facebook in the terms of metaverse. However, we saw some very soft guidance on metaverse, especially in this earnings call. So let me know in the comments which sentiments do you agree with from a bearish standpoint. Now from a bullish standpoint, if you really see the chart over here, their advertising business is firing on full cylinders. They brought in $32 billion in the fourth quarter on the ad. So this continues to be a strong fortress for Facebook. This was a 20% year over year growth. Don't forget, this accounts for 97% of Facebook's revenue. So though we saw that the monthly average user fell off, they were able to improve the customer monetization. One of the bullish aspects that I can think of right now for Facebook is number one is they have not really monetized the Facebook Messenger and world's second largest communication software, that is WhatsApp. These are the two places where Facebook has really not taken advantage of any monetization. Now, will that change? We don't know. That wasn't talked about during the earnings call, but that is something where Facebook can move towards bring revenue from those apps. We can see Facebook bringing more revenue quarter over quarter. So if you liked Facebook at $340, why would you not like Facebook at $240? Well, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about Facebook? Are you bullish on Facebook or are you bearish on Facebook? If you found any value out of today's content, don't forget to hit the like button, click on subscribe and ring the bell notification. I will see you next time, investor family, but don't forget to invest for tomorrow.